Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Harakakadash, double on the city apostles, and the to great most on the world, and Shalom to the brothers and one considering truth. We've got a Zark one on the Washington Post. It's about Iran, now they're making it known, say, that they're, pumping, pumping out nuclear material at a rate so they can build up a nuclear arsenal. So that says Iran signals a major boost in nuclear program at key site. So that says a major expansion underway inside Iran's most heavily protected nuclear facility could soon triple the site's production of enriched uranium and give Tehran new options for quickly assembling a nuclear arsenal if it chooses to. And yeah, in reality, these things are likely been underway for the longest. Them man booted out, I think they say it would have been, so 2018 is when they restarted production, if they even stopped. And then I think it was either that year or the year after they booted out like the observers. So, given that booted out the observers, given that it's highly likely that shit is no one as far as outside knows what the fuck's going on inside there. And it's like most of these countries would have got would have known the means of putting together nuclear capabilities, just like what's it called, man, like North Korea, when it would have had that technology, sold onto them like way before. It's as far as for Iran, it's more of a fear, and but yeah, let me read on. If it so chooses, according to confidential documents and analysis by weapons experts, inspectors with the IAEA confirmed new construction activity inside the Fordow enrichment plant just days after Tehran formally notified the nuclear watchdog of plans for a substantial upgrade at the underground facility built inside a mountain in north-central Iran. Iran has disclosed plans for expanding production of its main enrichment plant near the city of Natanz. Both moves are certain to escalate tensions with Western governments and spur fears that Tehran is moving briskly towards becoming a threshold nuclear power, capable of making nuclear bombs rapidly if its leaders decide to do so. Yeah, more likely than not, they were meant to have crossed a threshold in like 2020, and that was just at the rate they were going before they booted out the inspectors. So they've already obviously been at that level. Because why? These guys are contending with the state of Israel. The men are done known to have nukes. Because even it's funny. You go to the comments, and then there's a guy talking about thingy. It says what Robert Brandon, the fission bomb is 80-year-old technology. Who thinks Iran can't already build one? And yeah, that's these things are old as fuck. So I remember I even finished watching Oppenheimer like yesterday or day before. And yeah, they're going into that. A big part of it was the secrecy around what you call it, around the bomb when it was first constructed, and other countries not being able to get control of that technology. But then again, it was like you said, it was so like what do you call it? You know, the Russians have scientists too. And the guy said they'll fly in the leader in a 60-year-old helicopter. Do you really fit? Do you? They really have nuclear capabilities? But then like there's one has nothing to do with the other. Of course, like there's you just got both. And even there it says Iran should have nukes. It's the only way they will be left alone. They tried it the other way, but the devils won't let them be. Yo, America ain't got that many fans out here, man. Just funny as hell. This is yeah. This is what if I were Iran, I too be grabbing every weapon I can get my hands on. So yeah, and that's the thing is like you said, it's like nuclear capabilities, like just the initial ones are old as fuck, and people have that tech. So what does it say? Isaiah 54:16. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and bringeth forth an instrument for his work, and I have created the waster to destroy. Yeah, the Lord basically put, you know, inspired those minds. Like I said, watching the movie, it's like they basically had, they're all drawn together, you know, to bring forth that fruit, and then the mindset of how they were looking at was like, oh, that nuclear capability, that's something that they're thinking, oh, it's to their benefit. They're thinking it's for the glory of America or um, something to that effect. But it was really so, you know, any and everyone could be getting it in, because why? It's basically going to be used on a global scale, man. Everyone's going to be drawn together, and then America's going to be the target. That's going to be the key target. So I said, what, at $4 alone, the expansion could allow Iran to accumulate several bombs worth of nuclear fuel every month, according to a technical analysis provided to the Washington Post. Though it's the smaller of Iran's two uranium enrichment facilities, Fordow is regarded as particularly significant because its subterranean setting makes it nearly invulnerable to airstrikes. It also is symbolically important because Fordow had ceased making enriched uranium entirely under the terms of the landmark 2015 Iran nuclear agreement. Iran resumed making the nuclear fuel there shortly after the Trump administration unilaterally withdrew from the accord in 2018. And yeah, because I think even when Obeezy was in office, you got to deal with blimey, with Russia to make less nukes, but that went out the bin, when Trump got in there as well. So it said Iran resumed making nuclear fuel there shortly after the Trump administration unilaterally withdrew from the accord in 2018. Iran already possesses a stockpile of about 300 pounds of highly enriched uranium that could be further refined into weapons-grade fuel for nuclear bombs within weeks, or perhaps days. Yeah. And that was the whole point. I think with them producing enriched uranium, they were enriching it at a rate where they were not meant to be able to use it for nukes. But then it's like they were enriching it just for fuel. But as I said, it's like if they can make it like further refine it in a matter of days, then all that obviously can be used for weapons, man. Which is why the whole deal was trying to limit how much they can make. But then they went back to pumping it out as soon as like post 2018. As soon as the deal ended, the men were pumping it out. So it's as soon as the situation in Ukraine kicked off, everyone was talking about nuclear capabilities. Nuclear capabilities. Is Russia gonna nuke Ukraine? Because why? It's all being built up. The reason the Iranians are the Persians are being roused up, where they're developing those technologies, where they're utilizing it. It's because why these things are going to be put to use. Joel 3:9, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Be your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. And yeah, Iran is, they've beaten plowshares into swords. And then what? They're the weak saying, I am strong. They're basically taking hold on what is the pinnacle of technology now. There's that line from the first Iron Man movie where it says, I can't remember the guy's name, man, the random Arab terrorist guy, where he says, the one, in the past, the bow and arrow was like the pinnacle of technology. Whoever had the bow and arrow, had rule over the world. He said now whoever has the latest stock technologies, weapons, bears rule. And as the thing is, it's like now that pinnacle of technology, it's not the bow and arrow, it's not the chariot, it's not even the Gatling gun. It's not the the bomber. Now it's the nuke. That's basically what, the weapon that the Smith put together, that nuke, man. Nuclear capabilities. That's the pinnacle. And then with that's what Iran's getting, and that's what has everyone on edge. But then what Habakkuk 2:6, it says, shall not all these take up a parable against him and a taunting proverb against him? So this is going into, the wicked, that man whose soul is upright. Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, after he's, bared rule how he has through the sword, after he's gone around, gathered everyone to heap them together, and, utilized all the world to elevate himself. Then what shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his, how long, and to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. Yeah, that thick clay, them heavy debts, man. This guy's, the way he bears rule, it's really how long. How's the system meant to continue like this? Because it says, what shall not they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them? Because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood, and for violence of the land, of the city, and of all that dwell therein. Yeah. So this is, the mindset all these nations are in. They're thinking like, yo, this guy's come through, he's done damage. Like right now, it's what with the bulk of these nations, they know it's that backing of America, man, backing of the Western world, and they know historically how they've been treated by that same, these same nations. They're like looking like, yo, how have you man even dealt with us? Because as far as getting justice, having the scales balanced out for these acts that have been done, Esau ain't done that. Esau's now still just like, oh, we provide aid. You know, we've built your country up. We built your country up. You know, we put that's the mindset. That's the viewpoint. But they, these nations remember like, yo, you man fucked us over. It's merely a matter of capability. But that's why I said let the weak say I'm strong. They basically put themselves on a scale where they're like, okay, now we can touch these guys, and that spirit's gonna be put on them, man. Because even with what does it say? Ezekiel 38 and 2, it says, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him, and say, Thus saith the Most High Power, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sort of armor, even a great company with buckler and shield, all of them handling swords. So yeah, the enemy, the adversary, as far as for Esau, and it's going to be Esau against Esau, because why if Satan be divided against himself, how then shall his kingdom stand? But that's how it's been established. Esau, you got the Russians basically being stirred, Putin specifically against the Western world, and what they're building up. It says what Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya, with them, all of them with shield and helmet. So yeah, those different nations basically being covered, man. They're allies of what do you call it? Of Russia, and like I said, Persia, man. That's the key one. Iran, because Iran's what contending with Israel, and as the scriptures say in Jeremiah, what the least of the flock shall draw them out. That's how it's gonna go down, man. The least of the flock will draw them out. That's basically gonna be the conflict that everyone gets sucked into. It says what Gomer and all his bands, the house of Torgmar of the north quarters and all his bands, and many people with thee. Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. So yeah, be thou a guard unto them. Real talk. Be thou a guard unto them, because yeah, that's really what it is. They've essentially, you had Putin going to meet going to Pyongyang, going to North Korea. And saw men like what's his name, Drudge, saying like, oh, the axis of evil revived or something like that. So that's essentially those same, just as World War II, you had what, Axis and Allies. The that whole way of discussing things, that is it propaganda, but this is another word I was thinking of. That vocabulary, that thing, when we use the word vocab. But the way these things are discussed, it's always like stirring in your mind, like, okay, these guys are gonna be the enemies, which it's true. But it's always viewing the Western world, America especially, like these guys are the heroes. But that's all Hollywood, that's all cinema, that's all TV shows, how they're viewing themselves like that. The reality they're gonna find out is all that they thought was great or glorious. It's all BS. It's all dog shit, man. It's all built off lies. It's all built off death, destruction, theft, robbery, man. Finish on this. John 10:10. The thief cometh not but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. I am come that they might have life, and that they might have it more abundantly. Yeah? Thief cometh not but to steal and to kill and to destroy. That's how Esau's, bears rule. That's how he gained it. That's how he maintained it, man. His blessing was the sword. So, yeah, that's what you're gonna get. There ain't no life under that. Yeah, I wish I said, well, I'm coming, they may have life. They might live it. Yeah, well, yeah, they might have life, they might have it more abundantly. But yeah, I'll leave it there. Shalom. Shalom.